Okay, make sure I'm recording. Okay, good morning, everybody, and thanks for those that have made it. I want to thank you for being here, and also I want to thank our sponsors for this morning: First Citizens Bank, Bleecker Auto Part, Wood Pharmacy, and A.O. Wood Accounting. And I had hoped that we would eventually one day do coffee connections face to face or in person, but for right now, I know through the first quarter of the year, we're going to have to continue Zoom for safety reasons. I was telling Janelle and the mayor that Raleigh's canceled all events and up through March 31st. So hopefully things will get better soon. Want to remind you today at 12 o'clock, we have a ribbon cutting, We Care Home Care on Market Street, a new member. And what's really cool is these people grew up in Johnston County, but I don't know if you know Miss Shirley Blue, but it's her son and his wife that opened that up. So he was born and raised in Benson, graduated from South Johnston, and she was from Four Oaks. So it's always cool to have hometown people come home and open a business. So we're blessed this morning to have Janelle McCain, who is the Executive Director of the Benson Area Ministerial Association, to speak to us. So Janelle, I'm going to turn it over to you, and I'm going to share the screen with your presentation now, okay?
Okay.
All righty.
Thank you so much, Loretta, and thank you for asking me to speak today. It was humbling to see the other folks that have spoken to Coffee Connections with the congressman and the representative and the CEO of Johnston Health and the Benson Health Director and all the big names. So it was humbling that you asked me, and I appreciate it. I think that this is a perfect time to talk about BAMA, to talk about what BAMA does, what BAMA is about, and how your membership, how we can help BAMA and the opportunities that are coming up. So I really appreciate that. You know, it's perfect to talk about ministry right now, community ministry particularly, because we've been able to serve mightily in these unprecedented times, and that is something to be grateful for. Every year during our Thanksgiving meal, we have a scripture sticker that we put on the boxes, and Loretta provides those. And I want to read to you the scripture that she has provided for this time, and I think it's just so appropriate for this season. It's from Philippians 4 verses 6 and 7, and it says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation by prayer and petition with thanksgiving present your request to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus." And I love that scripture. It's one of my favorite, and it reminds us to praise and be thankful. You know, as BAMA has continued its ministry during this unprecedented time, our role has been as much about comfort and serving those who are in distress as it has been about distributing food and paying bills. So for folks to know that someone cares and is still here to help is truly a blessing. So I'll start with our presentation. I just want to share, you know, a brief presentation with you about what BAMA is and what we do. So Loretta, you can go to the next slide. So who is BAMA? Many of you have heard BAMA. What is BAMA? So BAMA stands for the Benson Area Ministerial Association, and the mission of BAMA, as set forth in our bylaws, the purpose of BAMA is to serve the town of Benson and the surrounding communities of Four Oaks, Meadow, and McGee's Crossroads by providing food, clothes, emergency living assistance, and other programs to ensure that the citizens of Benson and the Benson area have the resources they need to provide for themselves and their families. When I became the executive director a little over a year ago, of Bama, I was given several notebooks, historical notebooks, which has been fun to go through. And one of the scriptures that was the bedrock of Bama when it was first begun is Proverbs 21:26, that says, "The righteous gives and does not hold back." And I think that speaks for the people who are associated with Bama and our community in Benson. To give you a brief history of Bama, from the earliest files I can find, back in 2007, Ron Patton with the Methodist Church and Jeff Pearson with the Church of God were collaborating. Different churches were doing different things to serve the community. Elevation was doing the Christ Christmas Closet. And so they came together both in fellowship and in service. And one of the things that they put together was called Acts, and it was the area churches together in service, and that was the first food pantry. And so now Bama is it's just Bama, not Acts anymore. Bama entails everything that the ministry does, and that we are now a 501c3, which we got last August. So we're very, very happy about that. In 2009, Bama did apply to develop an outreach center in Benson, which was near the fire station, which is very interesting to read the history on. But that actual building did not come to fruition, but the food pantry was able to be at the Benson Parks and Recreation. So that has been a blessing. I still have a vision for that building, which is the old middle school. So if somebody wants to give me $1 million, I can do some really, really good stuff renovating it. So I appreciate that. So the collaboration of churches and community partners is what makes Bama successful, and it is what helps us serve in the way that we do. And I'm just going to read real quickly the churches that are involved in Bama, just so you'll know who is a part of Bama. Banner Chapel, Benson Baptist, Benson Pentecostal Holiness, Benson United Methodist Church, Crossroads Church, Elevation Methodist, Holly Grove Advent Christian, New Life Pentecostal, Pleasant Hill Christian Church, Stones Creek Advent Christian, Trinity Baptist Church, Unity Advent Christian, Unity Presbyterian, and Hodges Chapel Advent Christian. So that is a wonderful group of churches that have come together to serve this community, and it has grown over these years since that vision began with Ron Patton and Jeff Pearson. Our community partners, which we could not do this without them, particularly the Benson Chamber. Loretta and I have forged a wonderful partnership and friendship, serving the things that the folks that we do, and she has a real heart for this, and I'm truly grateful. Also Baywo, all our businesses, Benton Card Company, and especially the town of Benson has been just a tremendous partner with us. We are so blessed to be in a small town where everyone comes together to serve those in need. So Loretta, you can go to the next slide. Okay, so what does Bama do? There's 3 focus areas for Bama. We have feeding, community assistance, and special events. They all kind of blend together sometimes, but I'm going to talk about these in 3 significant areas. First of all, our feeding program is the food pantry. It is twice a month at Benson Parks and Recreation, and we are so grateful to the town of Benson and the staff at Parks and Rec that have helped us unload food bank trucks, help at the food pantry during this different time. They have been such a blessing. I cannot say that enough. So since March, we've been a drive-through, like McDonald's, I guess, but it's worked out wonderfully, being able to do a drive-through for serving folks from the food pantry. So where does our food come from? We are part of the Food Bank of Central North Carolina, and we receive what is called TFAP, which is the Emergency Food Assistance Program. We get that once a month. It is significant, it is free, and it has sustained us during this time. We also get wonderful church contributions. The churches have volunteered to provide certain items of food, such as peanut butter and green beans. And also we get food from Food Line. They give us their things that might have expired, or their deli, their bakery, their produce. So I'm always interested in statistics. I'm kind of a nerd about that. So first I want to tell you that we have either picked up, delivered, distributed up to this month over 100,000 pounds of food, both from the food bank, from farmers who have given us produce, from Food Lion, and other places. So that is significant, and that is a lot more than we have ever received and distributed. So looking at the statistics from January through yesterday, we had food pantry yesterday, and we did the most families we have done ever since I was involved. We did 148 families yesterday. We have served 2,069 households and 6,873 people, which is on par to be the biggest year we've had in a very long time. Comparing, which is really interesting, back in 2007, they served 193 families and 717 people. In 2008, it was 1,000 families and 3,200 individuals. So you can see that the need has grown, the availability of food has grown, and our ability to serve has grown. And then I had over 80,000 pounds. I checked it last night after I had gotten the numbers from Food Pantry yesterday, and it is over 100,000 now. Loretta, you can go to the next slide. One of the things that is such a blessing to us at the Food Pantry is our volunteers. Each church takes a time and brings their volunteers. And yesterday our church was not able to come, and Darla Ham, Suzanne Cook, and Donna Davis, and Cheryl Hall all pitched in. And we have regular volunteers that are just so faithful. We have a regular food pantry manager, and it is amazing to see they come in cold weather, in hard work, staying late to help us do that. Another partner that we have is the Daily Mobile Feeding Program with Cleo McKinnon and her 4-leaf clover program. And during this time of COVID since March, Food Line has been distributing their food to her, because we cannot have people go in the food pantry and get the food that they provide. So Cleo has been receiving this food Monday through Friday. She has a team that bags up this food, and she distributes it in her little school bus all over Benson. And thus far, she's distributed over 30,000 pounds of food to the citizens of Benson. This summer, Bama had received a grant from the North Carolina Community Foundation, and we were able to use that money to renovate a building that Cleo is using for her 4-leaf clover ministry. And therefore, she has been able to provide an emergency food pantry. She's able to cook every week and provide meals to people. And that has been a wonderful partnership for us that we are very grateful for. Her little building is on at 312 on Woodall Street. So if anyone ever needs anything, or you know of anything in between the food pantry times. Also, Backpack Buddies. We have Benson Baptist and Hodges Chapel Church provides 80 bags each week to the Benson Elementary School and Benson Middle School. We have been delivering those bags with Cleo, but they are now taking those to the school since they're back in school. Also, the Better Life Diabetes Support Group. We usually have 20 folks in our class, but we have not been able to do that since March. So we have still distributed diabetic boxes and information for those folks. So hopefully we'll be able to gather together early next year. So the other part that we do besides feeding is community assistance. And one of those is the clothes closet. Elevation Methodist Church, they have a team that runs the clothes closet, and it is just amazing what they do. They come in, they have like a little boutique, they have racks, and they organize the clothes in sizes, and we have been able to open up the clothes closet since this summer, restricting the number of people that can go in, requiring masks. The ladies help them shop quickly, and it has been an amazing ministry, and is an amazing ministry that Elevation has done. We also do some households. So household goods, we gave away 2 Christmas trees yesterday. So the other part of community assistance is the book bag distribution. That's also a special event, but in August this year, we served 420 kids, and that is a partnership with the chamber as well. We did it as a drive-through. It worked out great. And we'll do that again as a drive-through next year because it works so well. Our biggest event of the year is the Christ Community Christmas Closet. This is one of the biggest areas of the year. Last year, we served 223 families and 704 kids, and that was a record. And I'll talk about that in just a minute under ways you can help. One of the other things that we do is called the Community Assistance Program, also known as Benevolence. We help folks with rent and utilities and other living emergencies. We've helped pay some insurance. We've helped buy gas, just different needs that people have had. We can give up to $200 per client once per year. And we have helped about 40 people this year to the tune of about $6,000. So we're very grateful to the generosity of our churches. So getting to the BAMA events, let me back up one. There was one thing I wanted to add that I did not put on the slide on the community assistance. There's 2 things. One, we have in its infancy, we have a furniture ministry. We have had several clients that have furniture needs. We've had folks that want to donate furniture. So if you know of anyone that has furniture they would like to donate, we try to pair those needs with those contributions. I'm storing a little bit in my storage unit right now, but it's something that we've seen. Particularly nice used mattresses is something that we've seen a special need for. Also, we received a grant last year for a financial literacy program. And Joey, this is something I'm gonna need your help with. We have not been able to have the program because of COVID, being able to get together. So we're trying to figure out a different way to do that. But we have so many clients that have problems with budgeting, have problems with looking forward to financial security, looking forward with a vision for their future. And so many of them, that is hard to do. They are living day to day. And so we want to help them with the resources that they receive, using them to the best of their ability in providing for their families. So that is an ongoing effort we have. So talking about the BAMA events, we do a Mayor's Prayer Breakfast. Last year we did a prayer this year we did a prayer service as a Facebook Live event in May, since we were not able to have the breakfast. We usually do a meal day prayer service, but we weren't able to do that this year. Hopefully next year. The backpack distribution, the community Thanksgiving meal, which is coming up, and the Christ Community Christmas Closet, which is coming up. So I'll talk a little bit more about that. So those are our main events that we do every year. You can go to the next slide, Loretta. Okay, So upcoming events, that's how you can help. Oops. That's okay. Okay. This is the busiest time of the year for Bama. And my prayer is that we all stay well so we can do these events and serve these folks, because there is a great need. We've seen an uptick in new families coming to the food pantry. We've seen more inquiries for help. We've seen more inquiries for the Christmas closet. And so this is an important time in our town, in our ministry, and in our time to serve those in need. We will have our community Thanksgiving meal next Thursday at the Benson Fire Department. It will be a drive-through or delivery only. It will be from 10 to 12 p.m. Several churches have they all take a menu item. We also have Miss Cleo's going to cook turkeys, and we're getting Boston butts from the high school football team fundraiser. So that will be a wonderful meal to share. As far as volunteers, if anyone would like to volunteer to deliver meals, I'm working on the inside volunteers right now. We will screen the volunteers. We will require masks and gloves. And the fire department has been wonderful to help us with this important event. They will be in the bays, the doors will be open. So we are trying to ensure the safest environment that we can. Also, our biggest event probably of the year is the Christ Community Christmas Closet. And Loretta and our committee have worked tirelessly to try and develop a safety plan for parents and volunteers to be able to shop for toys for their children. It is December 12th at the Family Resource Center, which is right next to the fire station. We will require parents to stay in their cars until they are called, and allowing a couple of people at a time to go and shop for their kids. So we do need toys donated, and we need money. Usually the Christmas parade brings in a lot of toys, and we weren't able to do that this year. So we just encourage you all to do what you can. We would really, really appreciate it. We are not doing bicycles this year because we wanted to concentrate our resources on the toys, since bikes were so hard to come by and are very expensive this year. So, and we do have a backup plan. If we are not able to have parents come in, they will still be able to receive toys for their children. So what can you do? Fred, toys can be dropped off at the Benson Chamber. Also, and Loretta can add to this as well. Also, there will be a toy drive with the Little Miss Benson, December 5th, I think is right. So those, Loretta, if you have anything to add about that. Also, if any of your churches, all the churches know that we are doing this. So if you want to drop off at your church, I can come and pick them up. So we want to make it as easy as possible. Loretta, do you have anything to add?
No, we are accepting them here at the chamber office, and on December 4th, which is a mini Christmas on Main, we will have boxes scattered around town for toy collection.
Great. So the biggest thing that you can do for us is pray for our events and the health and safety of all those involved. We are trying to do what we have been called to do to serve folks. And so we're really hoping that everyone stays well and we can move forward in the way that we hope to move forward. Loretta, if you'll go to the last slide. So if any of you have questions, this is my contact information, my personal email and my cell. And we also have a Bama Community Assistance phone number that I have possession of. We also have an email. And I also did not put on here that Bama is also on Facebook. So if you want to communicate that way, but if you have any questions, I'm here and want to help in any way to make it easy for y'all to help us. So in closing, I just want to read Loretta, the scripture that Loretta has printed out for us to put at Thanksgiving, just to emphasize how important it is. And it is from Philippians 4, verse 6 through 7. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. So my message today is as much about gratitude to you all for supporting us, to our churches for their service and their sacrifice to us, and for all the volunteers that help make these events and our ministry really happen. So thank you so much for the opportunity to share that, especially at this time of year. And I'll entertain any questions.
Janelle, this is Terry.
Hey.
Hey, I just wanted to say that we're very grateful to you and Bama for all that you do for our school children, that between the Christmas gifts and making sure that they have a Thanksgiving meal, those things really matter to children. And I just appreciate that so very much.
Thank you, Terry. Thank you so much for your support. Hopefully we can get the tutoring center back open sometime soon and bless them more. Hey, Fred and Matt.
Any other questions anyone have? Like I said earlier, I have recorded this presentation, and if I make it work right, I'll email it out to everyone. Let's see, okay, Fred asked, where can toys be dropped off? They can be dropped off at the chamber office, or on Christmas on main night, there'll be boxes scattered around. But toys are a desperate need this year. So.
And we ask that the toys be new.
Yes, new, and we try to, if they could be worth at least $10, that would be great. Any other questions or comments?
I just want to say I'm sorry I'm late. I had to take care of a class. Being out, I've had to teach my business class online this week due to being tested for the coronavirus. But I mean, I'm negative and all that, and just got to be released by the health department. So that's a great thing. But Janelle, I appreciate everything that you do. Yeah, and I'm going to catch your presentation on the recording. So thank you for recording it, Loretta.
You're welcome.
I just want to let you know how much we appreciate you, and if there's anything else that we can do within our capacity, we'll do it.
We appreciate that.
Thanks.
I do want to point out, for a small town, this Bama is wonderful to have. A lot of small towns are not fortunate enough to have this organization or something similar. And the one thing that I've heard a lot from a lot of different people is that the people in Benson have some of the most generous hearts you can imagine. They constantly give. There's go-to people that Janelle knows. If she needs money, she has some go-to people that are very private and that will give her money. So do you want to tell them, Janelle, the Bama board members? Can you remember those?
Sure. Our president is Joe Brown, who's the minister at Banner Chapel. Our vice president is Clay Parker with Elevation Methodist Church. He's the new minister at Elevation and is very passionate about this ministry. Our treasurer is Paul Dunn, who keeps everything in between the ditches. So we have a generous, we just have generous churches, as Loretta said, that we don't want for much. We need more, but when we need need things, people will come through for us. You know, I know that Loretta has said a lot during this time that we're in this together, and we are in this together, and we've gotten through this together. Let's see, our secretary is Sue Johnson from Unity Advent Christian. And then all the ministers from the church are on the board, from the churches are on the board. We have a wonderful membership that we have now formalized in bylaws and in the 501c3 process. So we're very glad about that. Thank you for asking.
You're welcome. Well, any other questions or any other comments? Fred, you or the mayor, you want to share what's going on in town? Anything going on special?
We can't hear you.
Fred, you leave?
He's on.
No, I'm still on. I'm still on.
Give them some words about what's Benson's doing.
We are, I guess, getting ready with you all for the Christmas holidays, especially. We'll be doing a meal for our staff in particular, instead of the usual Christmas party full blown, in terms of having family and friends invited. We'll be doing a lunch on the Friday previous to the Christmas week. And the staff will have the rest of the day off after lunch to kind of give them a morale booster, if we can call it that, just before the holidays, so they can get out. And they're going to do some shopping to do that and make other preparations for what their gatherings will be for their families. Our library and museum, we were just on emails talking about that this morning, in terms of the usual Christmas on Main event, and we're thinking so far that we may have those two buildings closed and do something online and decorate the windows. So that's kind of in the works right now, and we'll see how that works out in terms of planning, at least. Other than that, I guess we're getting ready for our 2021 calendar. If you have any dates you'd like to have Tyler put on the calendar, give him a shout out. He'll add it. And really, he had to come up with a different motif, and I think he did a super job with that. Because, you know, as we all know, our events for 2021 are kind of up in the air right now. So he couldn't put the usual annual events up there. But the motif, the theme for the calendar, I think, will be pleasing for everyone. So that's pretty much where we are right now.
There's one other thing I want to add is that Dr. Pearson had come to us wanting to do screening for part of, and if Parks and Rec is going to start next week, there'll be one day, I think it's Tuesday. And then the next week, they'll be doing 3 days a week until the end of the year. But it is so important that we get everybody tested. That's the only way we're going to find all the people that are positive that don't know it. And so we'll have, we're going to advertise this on Facebook and get the word out to as many people as we can. Matt Smith is working with Dr. Pearson and getting this done.
That's wonderful. I had something and I've just, there's one neat, since we can't have a parade this year, I went to Alan Johnston, the fire chief, and this is a neat idea that I do it where I live at McGee's, but on December the 21st, from like 11 until 1, they're gonna load Santa Claus up on a fire truck, and Santa's gonna drive around the neighborhood communities for the children, just wave at the children and possibly throw out some candy. to just give them a little perk. This is something new we're doing this year. And Mayor, if you want to get in your car and drive in front of them, that would be cool too. So
I'll
But,
decorate my truck,
yeah,
put lights on my truck.
yeah, that would be great. But the kids, I'm hoping it'll give some joy to the children. It's, I think giving up our Christmas parade and all our activities has hit me harder than Mule Days, to be honest with you. But because I'm such a Christmas person. We are having a window decorating contest this year. The public will be choosing the winners. Also, we're doing a residential decorating contest this year. And once again, the public will choose those winners. So what we couldn't, we took away, we tried to add some new things. We've had to cut back Christmas at Main even more than what I originally planned, since we went to the 10 or a few inside events, plus when the numbers started creeping up. The stores will be open, and I do still have the horse-drawn trolley so people can ride the trolley up and down Main Street. And I've got some people lined up to clean the seats, and we'll social distance. I'm not having any entertainment, and and I guess the library is going to probably nix their light show, it sounds like. And
They're coming up with a plan right now. Tyler and Derek are working on a plan to do something virtual, and I guess they'll have something in place for that.
okay. The tree lighting will be virtual. The mayor and our three queens will be down at Benton Square at 6 o'clock that night to light the tree. I do have Ava Grace Jernigan going to sing 2 songs. It will be Facebook Live through the town's Facebook page and the Chamber's Facebook page, so people can tune in. One thing that we did that's really special this year is that Santa Claus, we had a huge chair built for him, an outdoor chair. So he won't hold the kids, but if the kids want to sit next to him for a picture, they can. We'll be providing masks for all the children that don't already have one, or a child can stand at a distance from Santa and have their picture made. Also, we've got a Santa's mailbox that's been built and designed by Stuart Hardison, and then Dave Wood is painting it. Will be down at the Santa house so kids can put their letters in the Santa mailbox. So we're trying to add a few things, as I said earlier, try to make it as special as possible. And that's where we are with that.
You've adapted amazingly, Loretta, to what is going on, just to still provide just some joy.
Well, I wish
Thank
we
you.
could have done more, but a limited budget, plus I might do a couple of other things down at Benton Square. I've got to figure that out. But that's really all I have going on right now, except as Fred said, gearing up for 2021. We are going to be doing, I'm not canceling anything. It'll be either hybrid or virtual. We'll just have to figure it out, but we will proceed. I'm making a virtual plan and an in-person plan for every event, because you cannot cancel events again. It's not smart. So they say if you cancel them again in 2021, you might as well drive nails in the coffin for that event. It'll be gone. So any other questions?
Loretta, did you want me mention this?
How about you doing that, Elaine?
Okay, so I know it's backwards for you, but we had a limited supply of I Love Benson ornaments made.
She muted. You're muted.
Okay,
Oops.
you with me? Okay. Thank you, Janelle. Yeah, we had a limited supply of these I Love Benson ornaments made, and we have them here at the office. I've already sold a few. They're $5 a piece. We're not really making much money off of these. but we'd like to get rid of them. So these would be cute little add-ons for your employees, or we advertising them on Facebook, but we obviously would like to get rid of them. So I have them here at my desk, and just let us know if you want, how many you want.
Those are cute.
Janelle, why don't you mention the Christmas tree?
Oh, okay. This isn't a Bama related thing, but if that's okay to mention something on the Optimist Club, we have our annual reverse raffle every year, and of course we were not able to do that this year. So we were trying to figure out a way to raise some money for our programs, which are the after school tutoring program, our scholarship program, and we were starting at athletic program. So we decided to raffle off a decorated Christmas tree. It's a Toyland decorated theme. The tree, it is so cute, and it is in the window at Neighbors and Associates on Main Street. And there is a grand prize of the tree and then another prize of $250. So the person who is drawn first would pick which one they'd like, and then the second person drawn would have the other. It's just precious. You can buy tickets from any Optimist Club member, but you can also buy them from Neighbors and Associates. They're $5 a piece, or 6 for $25. And the drawing will be held the night of Christmas on Main at Neighbors and Associates at 7 o'clock. So thank you for allowing me that little plug.
Sure, sure.
Did I
Anything
do that?
else?
I'll be there at 12.
Okay. All right, guys, thank you for tuning in, and I don't know about December yet. We'll just wait and see. It had my hope that we would be able to have an open house here at the office, but right now I doubt it will happen. So, but you take care and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. Be safe and stay well.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you, Loretta. Good to see everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving, everyone.
Take care.
Thanksgiving.